We are live.
Yes,
Fellas,
sir.
welcome to the show. We have on the show today Robert Bowers, aka is that Just Slay?
Yeah, just Slay. That's
Okay,
yeah. People know me from that in the WhatsApp group, so I'm just Slay in the WhatsApp groups. If y'all in groups,
okay, cool. And this brother right here has traveled pretty much the whole world, right? Because you ran out your list of countries, cities you've been to around the world. And I'm like, damn, you've been getting it in, brother.
yeah, man.
That's what's up. Your passport is full right now. Is it full?
Yeah, I'm on my second passport, man.
Whoa. Okay. That's
Yes,
what's
sir.
up, man. And what got you into traveling? Like, when did you first start traveling?
I first started traveling actually in year 2016, man.
Okay.
Um, but before we get into me, man, I just want to get a quick shout out to you, man.
Uh-huh.
Um, I've been noticing you, man. I like what you're doing.
Okay.
I like how how you putting your brand out there. I like how you market and advertising, man. Very strategic. So I just want to give a shout out to you, man. We're paying attention, brother.
Oh man, I appreciate that, brother. I appreciate that, man. I'm just trying to get the information out there, man. Trying to help brothers relieve that stress and travel the world, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, man. So you say you started traveling in 2016?
Yep. 2016, man. I was nervous. I was in Charles Tyler's original group,
Mm-hmm.
and I just kept seeing brothers post and pictures talking about international and different,
Mm-hmm.
and it was a hard sell, man, because I'm like, I was living in Houston at the time, and
Mm-hmm.
Matrix chicks, they wasn't really too much of a problem, so I didn't really see a need for traveling.
Mm-hmm.
But then once stuff started getting bad, I was like, let me make my first international trip, man, which was Belize, and I had chose Belize because they speak English, and it was kind of like an icebreaker because I wasn't ready to dive into like these Latin countries yet, so Belize was
Mm-hmm.
like my first country.
That's interesting that we picked Belize because you don't really hear a lot of brothers traveling Belize. How was Belize for the first time you traveled there?
Belize, man. When I went there, it's a beautiful, beautiful vacation spot.
Mm-hmm.
I would say it's more geared for couples. But
Okay.
it was a good icebreaker for sure.
Okay, did you travel by yourself the first time, or you was with a group of guys?
I travel by myself.
Okay, that took a lot of courage, man. I know I traveled by myself, but luckily, I had some guys already down there that I knew from the group.
Yeah,
So, man, rest in peace to Charles Tyler. I see he got out there, man. He changed a lot of people's lives, man.
he did. He
So you
did.
say you didn't really travel because of the dating market. What was your reasoning behind just going ahead and making that jump?
So my reasons for traveling, man. I think I had just that a lot of men had that final breakup or divorce where they just was like, man, I'm
Hmm.
done. No more.
Hmm.
So I think I went through like the last bad relationship experience, man, and I was just like, man, I need to see what else is out here, um, before I decide to settle for something. So that was pretty much my motivation, and also, being a father and wanting to have another child one day.
Hmm.
I just don't like the child support and the family court systems in the U.S. So I was like, if I want to, have a family or get married, I want to explore other countries where I could do that at.
Okay. And do you have any like favorite? Because you've been to Asia as well, right?
If I've been to Asia, yeah,
Oh, okay, so what are like some of the big differences between Latin America and Asia?
Latin America, I would say Asian women are more bored. So
Hmm.
they have more time, I would say, to give you more attention.
Hmm.
They're a little bit more patient because you gotta remember, like, and there's a lot more Asian women that I would say, and it's a lot more Asians that's not, I would say, sexually experienced. So
Mm.
they're very more patient. They could probably go longer periods without sex. They could go longer periods without seeing you without it being a problem. Versus
Mm.
Latin American women, after
Yeah.
2 weeks, they cheat.
Wait a minute. Are you serious?
I mean, they like sex.
Yeah.
Latin culture. They have babies. They like sex. They need attention. They
Yeah.
beautiful. They
Yeah.
need attention. You
It's
know,
a very romantic culture, man. They
it is.
want flowers. They want attention. I mean, I just got a relationship with one, so trust me, I know, man. And they get real. What about the jealousy aspect? Do Asian girls get as jealous as Latin girls?
Yeah, it's there. It's
Okay,
there. I
okay,
experienced it in Thailand for sure.
okay. And let me ask you this, man. So the women in Thailand, they really feeling their brothers out there, or is it like kind of the same as in Latin America? Is it like you stick out a little bit more? Because well, what I'm saying is in Latin America, you gonna see other melanated brothers, but
Right,
in
right,
Thailand, it's pretty rare, right?
right. It's less brothers in that's able to visit Thailand, but I would
Hmm.
say there's a group of Thai women that love black culture, black men.
Hmm.
So I won't say they all it's all, but there's a group of women that love us. You know.
Okay. And let me ask you this: um, what is like the general price that you would have to pay? Because you're coming from the East Coast, basically. What's like the price you would pay to get to Asia? Do you try to keep it around a certain price, or do the tickets fluctuate during the year? Like, what's a good time to visit out there?
I would say year round you could fly from Asia from like let's say New York
Hmm.
around 500, 550, but it's going to be on a Chinese airline and
Hmm.
you're going to have to connect in China. But that's the cheaper route. The more intermediate route, which I've taken, is flying in the Philippines, which they have a nonstop from like New York. So
Hmm.
that's about $700. So so you could travel from as low as 500, but you have to go through China, and it's going to be a 25, 26 hour flight, or you could fly through the Philippines, which it might cost you about 700, 800, but it's nonstop, and that's going to be more like a 15-hour flight.
Damn, what do you do? What do you do in them long flights, brother? Just watch movies or something? Or
Man, I mean, my first time to Asia was this past Halloween, man, and I was nervous about that time, man. But most of the time, it's a night flight, so you already a little sleepy.
Mhm.
So you might be asleep for about 6, 7 hours, wake up, eat, and then like you just kind of on adrenaline, man. I thought it was gonna be bad, but it really wasn't that bad, you know.
Okay, I mean, you got leg room in on
Yeah,
flight. It's not like a tight seat or nothing like that in the Chinese Airlines. Because
I didn't fly to China one, man. I can't speak for them, man.
okay,
I flew a Japanese airline and I
mhm.
connected in Tokyo. And so the spacing was pretty good. It wasn't bad. I mean, I fly Spirit all the time, so I'm used to not having to recline and being just kind of still for like three
Yeah,
hours.
I fly
You know,
Spirit too. You already know how we do in Spirit. We just be like this, like man, I can't wait. This is over with.
yeah, man.
I try to get an aisle seat on Spirit. That helps
Yeah,
a lot. But
definitely.
luckily, when I'm going to DR, a lot of the flights, man, they're not full. Actually, going to the DR. So I just be like, hey, let me get the back. Let me, you got anything in the back? They'll be like, we'll let you know. And I hop in the back. And sometimes I have a whole aisle, man. I just stretch on out.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea, man.
Yeah. Have you been to DR?
Yeah, I've been to DR. That was like my first. No, that was my second. Yeah, that was my second Latin country. So
Okay. Okay. So when you first started traveling, you say you went to Belize first.
right.
Was you just exploring the Caribbean? Like, how was you picking these countries to go to?
So my first thing was I was concerned about the language, right?
Hmm.
So I was like, let me go to a English speaking country that got um, Hispanic
Hmm.
Hispanic roots. So Belize was, they speak Spanish and English, but their national language is English. So
Hmm.
that was like okay. So now I got over the nervousness of traveling internationally,
Hmm.
and my next country was Brazil. I was like, I want to hit Brazil up, man, and
Okay.
went from Brazil. That was motivated through the Charles Tyler group, and
Hmm.
them talking about it, and then the DR boys. You know how the DR boys in the group was like heavy. They was posting chicks, pictures. They was going hard, man. The Brazilian guy, the pro Brazilian guys, they was just, in the groups they had pro Brazilian guys and pro Dominican guys. And I
Hmm.
was like, man, let me check out DR too.
Hmm.
I had a good experience in the DR.
Okay. Okay. Cool. Now, earlier you said in Belize it's a better place to take your girl, maybe to already have a woman with you. Why would you say that?
Because so Belize is like you got Belize City, which is on the mainland, and then they have these exterior like islands. They call them cays. And
Hmm.
so when you most people that visit Belize for tourism, they go to the quote unquote cays, or they're like little islands. So you
Hmm.
fly to the islands, and pretty much they got like resorts. They got like little bars and stuff like that. But you know, I mean, when you got like white sand beaches and blue water, and not really a lot of nightlife, it's just more geared towards a couple's experience.
Okay, did you see any women kind of around the clubs or bars out there?
There was a few,
Hmm.
what I mean, and as far as like picking up women and stuff like that, it wasn't just that kind of thing. It was a couple out there,
Hmm.
and their currency is 1 to 2 out there. They use the dollar. They use they have a bazillion dollar, and
Okay.
so just doing stuff with chicks, it was pretty much similar to American prices.
Okay. Okay. And did they take the U.S. dollar out there?
They do take the U.S. dollar out there. They have a
Okay.
Belizean dollar as well, but you could they accept both currencies.
Okay. Cool. So you say you went to Belize? You went from Belize straight to Brazil? Like
I went
your second trip?
in the same trip,
Uh huh.
in the same year. So I went to Belize like May 2016, and I went to Brazil June 2016, right before the Olympics.
Okay. Okay. And how was that experience being the first timer in Brazil?
Oh man, I was nervous as hell, man.
Hmm.
And luckily for me, I had posted like in the original group. I was like, I'm in Rio, and then there was a guy posted like, I'm down here too. Let's link. So he
Hmm.
was already experienced. He knew a little Portuguese. So he made my trip because without him,
Hmm.
it probably would have been boring. But he took me. We went to a club. We went to Lapa,
Hmm.
Copacabana experience, 4x4.
Okay.
You know, it was nice.
And that was a Brazilian brother or a brother in the group?
He was a brother in the group.
Okay, okay. And this is the purpose of us having these interviews, because we want to give brothers information. Because I've heard that as well. Brothers go to Brazil and they say they didn't have a good time. And I'd be like, "What'd you do?" He said, "Man, I just pretty much went to the beach, went to Quattro Quattro, and I went to the room. It was boring." I'm like, "Nah, brother, you got to hook up with people. You got to link up. You got to be a little bit more sociable." In
Definitely.
America, we so used to going to work and staying in our own little world, our own little shell. But when
Right.
you overseas, you gotta switch it up a little bit, man. You gotta have that explore mindset. You gotta go out there and take some chances. And I'm not gonna lie, when I first got to Rio, it was huge culture shock. I was like, what the have I got myself into? Like,
Right.
don't nobody speak English. Nobody speak English. You might get a few people in the airport, but for the most part, as soon as you leave that airport, man, you on your own. But luckily, I had Alan Harper. We linked up at the airport,
Right.
and that brother just showed me so much stuff between Alan, Obi, and Charles Tyler. Man, I had one of the best experiences I ever had in my life, man. Real talk.
Oh
Gotta
man.
love Brazil. You know what I'm saying? I got nothing but
Yes.
good things to say about Brazil, man. Hey, a brother asked Pattaya or Sosua. I guess he asking which is the best party town for brothers.
Oh man. Hands down, anybody that been to both, they're gonna say Pattaya because the
Mm,
clubs, they got two big clubs that's geared towards hip hop music.
hmm.
One is from like 10 a.m. to 3 in the morning, and then the other one is 3 a.m. to like 6 in the morning or 8 in the
Hmm.
morning. So and they both pop, man. It's a party city. It's definitely a party city. It's bigger. It's bigger than Sosua.
It's bigger than shit. Okay, okay. Now, with the girls in Pattaya, because we had a good conversation with a brother. Matter of fact, I think it was yesterday I had that interview with him, who was telling me if a brother like women that are a little bit more voluptuous, you know what I'm saying, got bigger breasts and a little ass on them, would you say Pattaya is a good city for them to go to, or you would say maybe Sosua would be a little bit better for that?
You can find it in Pattaya because
Okay.
the women that like black dudes, they they know what black dudes like. So the thicker tied chicks, they just
Hmm.
tend to flock towards those areas.
Hmm.
They wear the French braids. They wear their hair like black girls. They
Mhm.
do things to enhance themselves. You know what I mean? So you could definitely find it. Obviously, it's gonna be more in Sosua, but they got them in Pattaya as well.
Okay, and do they speak English at all? Is it like they speak more English in Pattaya or Pattaya than Sosua? Because in Sosua it's pretty hard.
Oh yeah, they speaking skills in Sosua is trash, man. So
Right.
they have a better form of education out there, man. So the ones that can speak a little English, they can speak it, or they can speak it enough so you can understand, what they're talking about.
Okay, okay. And as far as a quick price comparison, if you want to take a girl out, have a good time with the rest of the night, how much would that, generally run?
So this is the thing one of the OGs schooled me on, man. And it was so true.
Hmm.
So in Sosua, everything is by time,
Hmm.
by an hour. You know what I mean? And it's pretty much in and out. You know what I mean? In Pattaya, those chicks like to hold on to you as long as they can. And
Hmm.
then is one price per uh you pay whatever you pay, you
Hmm.
pay them until they leave. It's no hours. So it's like just to put some context around it. In, in Pattaya, $40, I could be with the same chick until I'm ready for her to go.
Mm.
And she good. She could live off being with one dude for that whole day. Whereas in Sosua, they can't live. They can't really. They can't really eat off one dude a day. They gotta eat off. They gotta be with
Hmm.
several dudes a day to survive.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? So that's economics play into it too. But you definitely get more bang for your buck in Pattaya.
Okay, and where should brothers stay at out there? Should you get a? I mean, can you bring girls back to your hotel rooms, or it's like you can't do that?
Pattaya, man. I mean, it's a city. It's a Sosua. Like Sosua is basically a sex tourism city.
Hmm.
100%.
Hmm.
Pattaya is too.
Okay,
So everything that goes on is like normal.
okay, okay, cool, cool, cool. And when you stay out there, do you stay in like an Airbnb or you get a booking.com? Or how do you usually get your rooms?
In both cities.
Well, no, I'm sorry, in Pattaya.
In Pattaya, you could do Airbnb. A lot of guys stay at this spot called dang, what's the name of the spot? It's You could basically find on Airbnb, but it's like a condominium complex. They have a lot of apartments in there, and a lot of guys stay there. So yeah, Airbnb for sure.
Okay, that's awesome. Now you say you went from Belize to Brazil. What was your next country you went to after that?
Belize, Brazil, and then I went to DR
Hmm.
that summer. Fell in love with a chick.
Hmm. Hmm.
went
Okay.
went through the DR abuse.
Uh
went
huh.
through went through being played and all that, and
Hold
then
on.
woke
So
up.
she was a chappy. She's a
Yes, she
chapidoria.
was happy.
Oh yeah. Hey, bro, I got hit with it too. Don't feel bad.
But I was
Hey.
on my toes though, man. I figured it out quick. I said, okay, this is the game. And
Hmm.
then the next year, that's when I went to Colombia, man, and I fell in love with Colombia, man. That's my bread and butter, man.
Okay. Okay. So, what city did you go to first in Colombia?
Colombia, the first city I went to was Cali, man. I was
Hmm.
experiment, man. And
Hmm.
Cali, I went with some homies, and they was like, man, this shit boring, bro.
Right.
We heard Medellin popping, man. So we went to Medellin like the next day, and
Hmm.
it was popping, man. And then later that year, I went to Cartagena, and then I just started visiting other cities, man. So I think I visited up to like 11 cities in Colombia now.
Hmm.
Um, I done bought real estate, man. I got a visa.
Hmm.
Like I'm pretty much half Colombian, man.
Okay. Okay. Now, what made you this? What made you kind of make your staple in Colombia versus Brazil, the DR, and Belize and Thailand?
Well, DR, man. I seen one that all the games and women play, and like I'm not like some dudes just want to just date. You know what I mean? Like I'm looking for something a little bit more long term. So I felt like the only way you could really take a chick in the DR serious if you live there.
Mm-hmm.
And then I really didn't see like the living. I don't really like the living conditions in the DR compared to Colombia. Like Colombia is like first class when it comes to like infrastructure, apartments, the quality of food they eat, and things like that. So I just felt like Colombia. I felt more I felt like I'd be more comfortable living in Colombia and than DR. And then Colombia has a big Afro-Colombian, population. So if you go to Cartagena, you'll definitely see the skin tones. It's similar to DR.
Okay, and do you speak a little Spanish?
Yeah, I can speak a little Spanish. I took I took like a community college. I recommend people to do this. I took a community college
Mm-hmm.
Spanish course for one semester,
Mm-hmm.
which just kind of gave me my fundamentals. And then from there, I'm basically, like an elementary level Spanish speaking person.
Okay, okay. So you went to Colombia. What was the country after that you went to?
So um, after Colombia, I want to say probably Asia. Probably
Okay.
Asia, because I went to Asia this past year. So I've been going back and forth between Colombia and Brazil, DR here and there. And then I just took a chance on going to Asia. So I did a couple of days in Tokyo, and then
Mm.
I did a few days in Philippines, and then I was in Thailand.
Oh, brother, you gotta talk about Tokyo. Brothers ain't on Tokyo, man. How was your experiences in Tokyo as a brother?
Man, now some people are going to disagree because
Mm-hmm.
their experience was different, but for me and the guys I went with, like Tokyo was a waste of time, man.
Mm.
Especially once I seen Thailand, I was like, I should have went straight to Thailand.
Okay, so Tokyo get a thumbs down.
For me, it gets thumbs down. I mean, you got brothers that say, well, you got to be there a long time, and women love us, but I need instant gratification. You know, instant gratification. So if I ain't get instant gratification, man, like I ain't feeling it.
Okay, okay. So no Tokyo, but what about the Philippines? I keep hearing good things about the Philippines. It seemed like to me, I got brothers that love the Philippines, but I got brothers that tell me don't go to the Philippines. So what's your opinion on the Philippines?
Man, you're gonna have to follow up with me, but I'm going to Philippines again in April. So the
Mm-hmm.
first time I went I just did only Manila, right?
Mm-hmm.
Manila was kind of whack. So I should have went to Angeles City, but I didn't really have time. So I'm gonna go to Angeles City in April and see. But based on my experience, just Manila by itself, Manila a thumbs down.
Thumbs down. Okay, Tokyo, thumbs down. Manila, thumbs down. But then you went to Thailand
Yeah,
and you rate them
Bangkok,
2 thumbs up.
Bangkok and Thailand, and Bangkok and Pattaya thumbs up.
Okay, okay. Now let me ask you this, because I had an interview with a brother who said that the lady boy, it's a problem in Thailand. Is it really that many of them that brothers you have to worry about? They're trying to intermingle with the regular women, and you got to ask the women in Thailand, like, "Hey, was you born, a girl? Is that an issue?"
I don't see it as an issue. I mean, you could tell. I mean, I've
Hmm.
been to Brazil. Brazil has a large
Yeah,
transgender population as well.
they do,
So I
but they
mean,
kind of have their own little section. You know what I'm saying?
they do,
Hmm.
they do, but I don't see it as a problem. I mean, it's there. They mixed in with the women, but like they're not trying to trick people. They're not out there trying to trick people or nothing like that.
Okay, okay,
You know.
all right, cool. So, what country did you go to after the Philippines?
So after the Philippines, I went from Tokyo, Philippines, and then to Thailand.
Thailand. Okay, Tokyo, Philippines, then Thailand. Now, out of all the countries you've been to so far, what would be the best country or city for a brother to visit first?
Man, so I,
A
I
brother
did,
that's he a little nervous about traveling, so he just got his passport.
just
He got
got
about a let's say he already got his ticket. So let's say he's taking about a good 1,500 to 2,000 out there on
oh
about a
oh
5 day trip. Where would you send him to? I'm your little bro. Where you
man,
telling me to go?
I would say little bro, man. I'm gonna narrow it down to two places:
Okay.
Pattaya
Mm-hmm.
or Cartagena, Colombia.
Okay. Cartagena, Colombia. So you just skipping over Medellin. Medellin, I mean.
Man, yeah.
Wow. Okay. Because I've heard in Cartagena, I've heard different things about it, but you saying it's dope.
Yeah, but only thing I would say about Cartagena is it's a 2 or 3 day trip though.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? You can't stay there too long. It's about a legit 2 or 3 day trip. I would say
Okay.
that. Pattaya, you can stay. Pattaya, you might not even want to leave.
Okay. Okay. So no Brazil. Not the first time.
Not the first time. Brazil is, you need to break the ice.
Okay, okay. And I see you skipped over the DR, brother. You know that Chapadora got you not want to come back?
Man, because you don't want no brother to, for his first experience to be a bad experience, man. We don't want to like damage brothers, man. They won't travel no more, man. they meet that wrong chick, man, and be like, man, I can't do it again, man.
Uh-huh.
So I wouldn't, man. I wouldn't advise it. But, you know, Sosua can be fun, you know what I mean? But, I don't know what brothers, if they looking for love or they looking for fun. If you're looking for fun, yeah, you could definitely just hit up Sosua, man. But for your first time, if you only get to travel once a year, I would just, Pattaya just a party city 365 days a year. So
Okay.
Sosua could be up and down.
And like about 1,500 that get you in the game out there?
All right, out there, you talking about 40 a day.
Okay.
You would be king. You'd be king out there, man.
And the brother African Moment says he heard Cartagena is expensive. Is it expensive out there?
No, I done been so many times. Like it's not as expensive as Medellin. It's not expensive. I've there's a lot of Venezuelans there, so the Venezuelan influence has made stuff a lot cheaper.
Okay. And the brother Mufasa Shabazz asks, what is a chapeador? You want to take this one?
Gold digger, man.
Yeah. They dangerous because they will make you, their whole thing is to make you fall in love first. That's the difference between a chapeador and just a regular, Sasua chick. You can see right up front that she just wants you for the bread. And it's kind of out there, for both of you to know that. But chapeador, boy, she'll sit there and wait year, 2 years. She'll make sure before she start asking you for money that you in love with her. And they are so beautiful in the DR. They're dangerous. They're dangerous. The DR is why every time I go out there, you hear about a woman getting killed, her husband choked her out, or you know what I'm saying, knocked her head off or something like that. Because they play the DR, man. I love DR. I've been to DR 5 times in like 12 months. So I love DR. But you just don't fall in love. I'm just gonna say it. Just be honest. Unless you speak Spanish, or unless you have a situation where you know her family or something like that, you know of her, you might have met her through her brother or something, it'd be in your brother's best interest to not fall in love. Would you agree with that?
Well, family, I done had this girl, her family took up for her and she was on some bullshit. So I don't trust their family.
Okay.
I don't trust, in my opinion, you gotta live there, man. You gotta live there. Some people can go frequently enough, but I wouldn't fall in love until I live there. I keep my feelings at a distance for sure.
Okay. Now, the women in Colombia, what is your experience dating them?
I would say my best dating experience have been with Colombian women.
Okay.
I mean, I probably had about 5 girlfriends, and just because I'm not with them, don't mean that they wasn't, they were bad women. It's just like dating in the U.S. But I've had, girlfriends. I had women that I felt like I could trust. They were more genuine. Women didn't ask me for anything or didn't need anything, and the communication was pretty good.
And the brother African Moments asked, what about hotels in Cartagena versus Medellin? I'm guessing he asking, can you bring, your guests back or something like that to the hotel rooms out there.
Well, Medellin has changed a lot of their policies now, so they have like after you usually reserve a hotel for two people.
Mm-hmm.
So anybody else you bring, they're gonna charge you a fee,
Mm.
which could range from 20 to $30. In Cartagena, I always push people to stay at this hotel called Ibis. That's
Okay.
that's pretty much the popular hotel people stay at. But Medellin is better as far as apartments and things like that than Cartagena. So you probably would if you don't stay at Ibis, which is like 45 a night with breakfast included.
How,
If
how
you
you
don't
spell
stay
how you spell that, brother? I'm gonna put it in the description right here.
Ibis, IBIS.
IBIS. Okay, and that's in Cartagena.
That's in Cartagena. That's the only hotel. I'm gonna repeat. This is the only hotel that has hot water for showers. Because Cartagena is a hot city, so they don't really invest in like hot water heaters.
Mm.
So if you like hot water, um, I like places with breakfast included and no gas issues.
Mm-hmm.
Ibis is like the number one spot.
Okay. Okay, and you said how much a night it usually runs?
Um, usually about 45. Usually about 45 a night.
Okay, and the brother keeps saying stay in Wall City. You familiar with Wall City out there?
Yeah, so that's downtown. So like that, how Santo Domingo has Zona Colonial.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So Cartagena has like a historic zone too, but it was a fortress, so they call it Walled City. But it's basically their downtown, or people call or El Centro. So people refer to it as El Centro, downtown, Walled City. It's all the same thing.
Okay. Okay. Now, any other countries you've been to, brother?
No other countries. No other countries I've been to, man. I just been to a lot of cities in particular countries.
Okay. Okay. Now, you don't recommend Brazil, but you do. That's one of your favorite countries.
Yeah, Brazil is I would say one of my top three countries for sure. But a first time traveler, by themselves, that's the key thing. By themselves,
Mm-hmm.
it's going to be a little difficult to navigate.
Okay. Okay. And you said you purchased some real estate out there in Colombia?
Yeah, purchased some real estate in Colombia.
Oh.
Some land, some
Okay.
land.
What you plan on doing with it, brother? You gonna build a hotel or?
Man, I want to build my home, man. I want to build
Okay.
a future home, man. I mean, right now you could get a nice mini mansion home probably for like between 30 and 45,000,
Mhm.
um, which is cheaper than DR. See, the thing I don't like about DR too is that DR is just as poor as Colombia and Brazil, but
Mhm.
they inflate every fucking thing that you feel like you in the US.
Mhm.
You know.
Yeah.
And so, that's another thing that makes it hard to invest in DR.
I tell people all the time, even if you speak Spanish, it does not matter. They will figure out that you're not from there, and they will tax you. And I don't care if you've been going to that same restaurant or you think you cool with them. They'll change the prices on you overnight like it's nothing, man. You be like, "Hey, man, I paid $2 for this Presidente yesterday. Now it's $4." They be like, "Yeah, you know what I'm saying?" Like they tax you, but all over that island. As a matter of fact, if you cool with a Dominican woman, if like y'all really dating, she really into you, she'll tell you, don't go shopping nowhere. Let her do it. You know what I'm saying? Because she knows they're gonna try to get you. I had one chick, I was in Santiago, and I just got a burger, bro. I was at Burger King in Santiago,
Mhm.
and she handed me my change and then took it back and just looked at me. And I'm sitting here like, nah, Cambio, come here. You know what I'm saying? Like, And she just like she didn't want to get my change back. That's how they feel about you. Now, on the flip side of that, it's a flip side of that though.
Uh-huh.
If you go out in the DR, and I mean, it's easy to get the women out there. I will say that. You know what I'm saying? That's the advantage of being American. They all want to brag to their families that they got a black American or American in general.
Right.
It don't matter reasons. You gonna get laid out there in DR all day.
No. Yeah.
Yeah. And we saying there is some good women because I had brothers hit me up, messaging me. Man, you shit on the DR. I'm Dominican, man. You tripping? You just go to these tourist cities. And I'm like, yo, I understand that. But all we saying is if you want something genuine, more likely you got to speak the language fluently.
Yeah,
That's all we saying. Let's
definitely.
see. We got Melvin Riddle says you will always need a taxi if you stay in Ibis.
Ibis is not far from Central, so I mean the taxi like is literally like 5 minutes, man.
Okay.
With no traffic, you can get downtown in 5 minutes. It's on the beach, you know what I mean. So, if yeah, obviously, if you could stay in Central
Mm-hmm.
or Wall City, by all means, you could do that. But your hotel probably won't have hot water, or you're gonna pay a lot of money in the Airbnb because the real estate in Central is more expensive. So you're gonna pay a lot more money, and then they do have guest policies too. Any place that has a security person
Mm-hmm.
has a guest policy, so you're gonna have to find a place where you could just walk straight in like it's your home, which
Okay.
you can find.
Now, when you say Cartagena, you think should a first time traveler just skip over Medellin?
Depends on many days. Yeah, if you could hit both cities, hit both cities. I mean, I definitely encourage people when they come to Colombia to go to more than one city because
Okay.
you could fly in between cities for $50, and the flight time is usually like 45 minutes. So I would definitely encourage that.
Okay, cool. Mufasa Shabazz asks, "Is your future wife in Colombia? That's why you keep going."
I, yeah, I would say my future wife is in Colombia. And
Mm-hmm.
as far as women, even if I was, I'm in a relationship with one now, but even if I wasn't, just the quality of living, I would want to live in Colombia compared to all those countries. Just take women out the equation. Just living in Colombia is a way better quality of life, even
Mm,
in the U.S.
got you. Got you. Branger around the world asks, "Have you been to Barranquilla?"
I've been to Barranquilla. Um, Barranquilla is boring.
Okay.
It's an industrial city. I mean, a lot of people have jobs there. A lot of the more formally educated people live in Barranquilla. They do have beautiful women there. It's on the coast, um, but it's not a tourist city.
Okay. Okay. This brother asks, "Get a spot in." Are you familiar with that? Jessamine?
Get some money. That's in downtown area too. Yeah, basically I was saying no security. So any place you could just walk right into your apartment, that'll be good to go.
Okay. Cool. Cool, man. So I ain't gonna hold you too much longer, brother. You basically saying that your two picks would be Cartagena, Colombia, or Pattaya.
Yep,
That
those
would be
two.
the first. Okay, what would be your third?
The third, first time, man. I just don't want brothers to, man. I would say, either still in one of those countries. So even if it's not, you got Pattaya between Pattaya and Bangkok, and then if you go into Colombia, you could hit them. You can hit up Bogota. Even only thing about Bogota is it's a lot of traffic, and you're gonna need like a jacket or
Yeah,
coat.
it's cold. I've been
It's
there.
cold,
It's cold.
but you
Uh,
definitely, what I mean, anybody could give you the spots to go to, and you'll definitely have a good time in Bogota. But yeah, Colombia and Thailand for the first time international
mhm,
traveler.
mhm. Okay, okay. It's funny, man, because my ex girlfriend, she's Colombian, even though she's hella Americanized. She's been here pretty much her whole life, but she cannot stand people in Bogota. She hates them. She's like, those are not Colombians. They're rude, you know. So they was cool to me because I stayed there for a couple of days, but I was on the way pretty much to Brazil. So when I
Yeah.
got to Brazil, man, I was loving it, man. Is there any type of uh, cautions you want to tell brothers about traveling out there to Pattaya? I'm sorry.
You said cautions?
Yeah, like anything you want to say, like you know how to move out there as far as is it dangerous? Do you keep your wallet on you? Are they safe? Like stuff like that.
I mean, it's pretty safe, man. The only thing that I learned from Pattaya is like the women are very clingy, and like you feel bad like pushing them off. Like
Mhm.
they'll even break down. Some of them even break down crying, or you know what I mean.
Really?
And so you
Man,
have to.
I need to go out there, man, for real. Like my little spot.
But if you want to experience a lot of women, like you have to just be firm and just be like, no, because them women gonna be on the next dude anyway, regardless of how much clingy they want to be. They're gonna be on the next dude anyway. So,
Mhm.
so you have to just be a person to be like, I want to see another girl. You have to tell them like, I want to see another girl.
Okay, and when you meet these women, like, what's the best way to meet them in Colombia? Let's just start with there. Do you do like Tinder or social apps, or are you kind of like it's better just to go out and just mingle?
All right, so Colombia, man, is the Cupid site. So you got ColombianCupid.com and you got LatinAmericanCupid.com.
Mhm.
So Colombia is definitely Cupid sites. Tinder, not so much.
So
Um,
okay, that's interesting.
I want to give people this advice too. So Brazil is Tinder only. They don't do
Mm,
that Brazilian Cupid shit. It's there, but there's not a lot of women on there. Tinder runs Brazil.
hmm
Um, Colombia, no Tinder. Cupid, ColombianCupid.com and LatinAmericanCupid.com.
hmm
DR, you know, if people want to know about DR, it's the same LatinAmericanCupid.com and DominicanCupid.com.
hmm
Uh, is
Now
DR.
hold on now. Tinder and DR is off the chain, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Everything is DR off the chain. You could
yeah.
go on. What's them old sites?
POF, something like that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
yeah.
own everything,
Ash,
bro.
yeah, they own everything, man. All of them.
OK
They'll be fully
Cupid,
married and they'll still be on there.
they own that, man. But in Pattaya, you don't need Tinder.
hmm
Pattaya is pretty much everything is in person.
hmm
Um, and they don't really do the Cupid stuff. It's just so they're so aggressive on you. So it's not, you don't really need to do no pre gaming for Thailand.
Okay. All right. Well, brother, I appreciate you coming on the show, man. You dropped a lot of knowledge that brothers really need to hear, man. Because brothers, I know when I first went to Brazil, man. Well, I was about to go to Brazil. I had my barber tell me not to go. He said, "Hey, man, it's not safe out there." I had women tell me, "Man, they got AIDS and everything is violent. Don't go." But we have, information because the only reason I went to Brazil was because of Charles Tyler. I'm being
Right.
honest with you, in the Black Man's Option. That's the only reason I went out there. So, brothers, you hearing it? This brother's traveled all over the world. He's safe. He's good. He's happy. He's telling me that the Colombia is a good place to go to. And if it's your first time, check out Patio all day long. Anything you want to say in closing?
Oh man, just yeah, brothers, just be safe. Like I talk a lot about how interaction with these women, man. Be firm. Be firm. Don't be paying exorbitant taxi fees and things like that,
Yeah,
man.
yeah, that's true. Yeah,
Just have a good time, man.
yeah, they got me good in the DR. I'm upset every time I leave DR. I be like, damn, I spent too much money on taxis. They get me every time, dog. I was in San Domingo, and I think I was like right at a cabana. The cabana was like maybe 5 minutes away from the airport, bro. This dude charged me $10, and I'm sitting there like, man, I was gonna argue with him, but I wanted to catch my flight. I'm like, man, here, just take it, bro. Like he was damn near walking distance, bro. So man, yeah, you right, absolutely right. And let me ask you this before we go, man. The cheapest trip for a brother, what would be the cheapest country he can get away with? Just say, hey man, I'm broke. You know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to get away from my baby mama for a couple of days. I need to get out of the States. I only got a weekend. What
Okay.
kind of budget can I take? And what country should I go to?
All right.
I got
So
like $500 and I'm trying to trick too.
all right. So
So what's a good budget?
Thailand was my cheapest trip outside the flight.
Okay.
Outside the flight, Thailand was my cheapest trip. Um,
hmm
with a cheap flight, I would say I would say Colombia because
hmm
Colombia is cheap, and Cartagena is pretty cheap. Medellin too. Outside the women is cheap. So if it's a cheap flight, Colombia. If it's a cheap experience, Thailand.
All day long. Well, appreciate you coming on, brother.
Okay, brother, man.
All right.
We'll wrap soon, man.
All right, cool.